Good evening, good evening. Well, it's good evening from the UK anyway. Yeah, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Got a lot of news actually, and I might share that later on. There isn't just one thing. There's actually quite a lot of things. All happened within a very short period of time. So I might wait until there are some more people online here before I start sharing all that. But let's say let's say 30 minutes. Okay. Lots of news coming up in 30 minutes. Okay, we'll leave it at that, and we'll just see whether anyone comes online, and we'll go from there. What I might do is actually, what I could do, we need to come back here at some point. What I might do is I wanted to try and go to some of the Sims I was at a little while ago. Oh no, this is where I wanted to go actually. While we're waiting for maybe some more people to come online, we'll see. We shall see, we shall see. Anyway, I wanted to come back here because this was partly the inspiration for me to create my own kind of working shop. Now, what I find interesting here is that they've got all of these shops, which I think these buildings are some of the smartest. I mean, I think I like them because this is the London City Brittany sim, which is adjacent to the London City sim, and of course, you know, these are very much the kind of shops that we get around the UK, and it's a very kind of UK built. But I sort of based my building, if you like. I mean, look at that. I mean, it's not exactly a copy, but it's very close. I got my inspiration from this kind of building here. And I've seen many builds around Second Life actually that are very similar. I mean, they're all pretty similar, and some of the best. And I'm actually going to my next sort of shop build, and I'll talk about that more when in sort of about half an hour, really, because there's so many things have happened really in a very short period of time, and it's all good. It's all good stuff. It's all good. See, I like these old-fashioned drawers. Ooh, I've just noticed something actually. These... Ah, no, okay. Yeah, they've changed this. This looks... Why does that look so different? Anyway, ooh, that's interesting, isn't it? I like that. So I'm going to have to find that script. It's like a double door script. So you click on one, and they all open. That's really quite neat. You click on it and it closes. Quite neat. There's a lot of detail in these shops, and I think this is one of the reasons why the prim is so high. So if you look at that, it's like 41, which, I mean, it isn't too bad, actually. It's not too bad. And there's something that I wanted to try and test out, because I wanted to know, can we fly here now? Oh, we can't fly here now. That's interesting. I wonder why they've done that. This is new. I've not seen this line here before, and I don't think I ever remember seeing that there before. Interesting. Anyway, yeah. I do love this shop design. It is very nice. It is very nice. It's just a classic English kind of high street, old high street store. We're talking, 100, 200 years old. Maybe not 200 years old, but certainly 150. You can go to some of the really old cities here in the UK, and you will see shops exactly like that. This part, now we're crossing over into the London City Sim. This is more what I call more modern buildings. These are buildings that have been re-renovated and remodeled to look modern, so you would see this in London. These kind of old... you see what I mean? If we go over here, you've got pretty much the same base construction, but the shop bit has been modernised. So the ground floor... So if you look at this, you see the top part. This is very much part of London. The top part will be very much the same. They don't generally tend to touch it, but the bottom part, I know they've obviously just remodeled. It looks like they've just remodeled this to make it look. And this is exactly what they do in London. I think this is supposed to be a hotel. So they've just taken the shop building and put a different facade on the front. And I mean, whoever the builder was for this, I don't know the builder for this, but they obviously let's see who it is. Looks like ICA 84. But they obviously, they've looked at these buildings in London and they've modelled all of this. They've modelled all this from London. Which, there are lots of sims around Second Life that are modelled on different cities around the world. And obviously the people that are creating these sims are taking the architecture and the design and the layout and the buildings and such like, and they're just representing them in Second Life, which I think is really, really nice. So obviously Neo Victoria, it's interesting because this is obviously the City of London, and Neo Victoria is based around the City of London, but it's kind of set in the future but based in the past, if that makes any sense. And which because it's steampunk, so it's a bit like cyberpunk. It's very much the same. Cyberpunk is all the modern stuff, and steampunk is the old stuff, going back to the old days of steam, but you're further in the future. And it's based, typically steampunk is based around, you know, the 1800s, generally speaking. This is always a bit jerky here. It's very, very laggy because, I mean, this is City London South, so we're obviously. Oh yeah, we are allowed to fly in this bit. I thought we were. It's the old Oxo building. It's really quite clever. Obviously, whoever's designed this has obviously been to London and maybe studied the architecture in London, or is from London or something. I don't know, but they have got this pretty good, actually. Okay, so now we're actually into the London City Sim, and this is where things start getting a bit crazy. Lag wise, it all starts getting a bit of a nightmare. See, we've got Houses of Parliament. Yeah, it starts getting very, very laggy. Very laggy. And of course, you know, obviously evening time, it's the City of London, so evening time here, you know, there's obviously a lot of people in world, and so anyway, I'm just going to wander around a bit. What I usually do is kind of depends on what I'm doing. I'm waiting for maybe some people to come in. There was one or two people that may be interested in things I've got to talk about, and if they're not here at sort of UK time 6:30, then I shall carry on. Shall carry on regardless, as they say. So some of the things I'm going to talk about today are about Blender, about Second Life, and a couple of sort of building tips and tricks that I've picked up. I quite like this sim. It's predominantly for furries, but they don't bother me. I don't bother them. They don't bother me, because I just literally come here because the speed is good. The frame rate is usually pretty good. Although I have tried to get in here recently and it's been full. So I'm guessing, yeah, they got 14 on the sim at the moment. I mean, you know, that's like, I don't know what their limit is. Some people keep their sim allowance, if you like, for avatars in the sim. Some people keep down as low as 15. I think it depends on the server that they're using. But I like building here, actually. So speed here is pretty good. I'm going to start off actually just talking about something that I learned today through the forums on Second Life, and it was very much a bit of an eye-opener. Now, I mean, considering I've been building in Second Life for 13 years, and of course the Holy Grail the Holy Grail of building in Second Life is getting that land impact down. You know, I mean, that's every builder wants to try and make the best detail with the lowest land impact. I mean, you know, because it means that you can make really nice stuff, but keep the land impact down, which means that you can make more stuff. You know, do you know what I mean? So there is a limit on the amount of land impact. Can't ever actually, oh yeah, I can actually see about, okay, so right, this gives you some statistics. So the area is nearly 64,000 square meters. This is an adult sim. So it says here parcel land capacity is 5,000. That's interesting. I thought it was more than that. Could be wrong, but anyway, so that's basically how much land impact. Or I think there it doesn't seem to be very clear actually, but I think it's land impact is 9. See here is 942, and your land capacity, which I think is the prim count, is 5,000, and at the moment they've used up 1,624. So they've got quite a lot left, and that's, I believe, prim count, and then you've got parcel land impact. It's a bit of a grey area because there doesn't seem to actually be actually, okay, we'll try something out actually while I'm just waiting. If there isn't going to be anyone else coming in, then it doesn't really matter. At 6:30 we'll continue on, and this will just be a thing. So anyway, I think, okay, so this is 1624 and 942. I'm going to res, actually let me res something in world that I know is at least 600 land impact. So it's pretty heavy on the land impact. Where is it? My ship. Here we go. Okay, so we've got the ship. Right, so I'm gonna res this, and we're gonna watch and see what happens with the land impact. And ooh, that got returned straight away. Wow, why was that? Too much? Maybe there's a limit on how much I'm allowed to. Wow, that got returned immediately. Has been returned to your inventory, lost and found. Oh, okay. Oh no, okay. That's fine, it just went off world. Okay, that's fine. Right, let's res this in. So this is 600 land impact. Right. Yeah, there we go. Ah, so the land impact is its current land impact. Interesting, yes, and so this went down. Yeah, so that definitely went, so the region capacity went down a lot because this is 606 land impact. And the parcel land, yeah, okay, so it went up to, it's gone up. So, okay, the land impact is this figure here. And I don't know what the limit is, to be honest. That's interesting, isn't it? I've got some good news about this ship. So the way I've set this up is that I can actually push this off world. Now if I go edit linked, Let me unmark this. And all of that lot there. Right. Come on. I do love this ship. This is one of my I'm really proud of this build. This is not isn't even the current build that I have made in Blender. This is actually quite old version rather. But I do love it. It looks amazing when you put it in the sea like that, you know, and you can see the, you know, I love it. I really love it. Wow. Okay, so yeah, this is the total number of land impact, and I've just taken 606 of that, which is a bit scary. I'm sure the landowner is probably going to have a bit of a nightmare. But anyway, I like it. It looks good. So anyway, we're going to stay here. I'm going to stay here for a little while. When we leave, I'll get rid of this. And so yeah, the kind of the holy grail for builders, especially in Second Life, Prim or Mesh, is to try and get your land impact, you know, down as much as possible. I just love this ship. Look at that. I can't wait to actually finish this ship and make it, you know, complete it. Oh, that's interesting. How come the surrounds are only... Ooh, that's very... Oh my goodness, look at that. Wow. That looks amazing. Wow, that looks amazing. Cool. Oh my god. It just makes my ship look amazing. The light, the mountains, the water, you know. Oh, I can't wait to finish this project, actually. I really can't wait to finish this project. The only thing is, how on earth would it have got there? Because the land is actually... Ooh. Okay, so realistically, it wouldn't have ever been able to get there. Because why would they have built a ship on the... Ah, that's where it needs to be, is on that side. Okay, is there anyone actually here? No. Oh, there is only one. What? Okay, something very weird happening on... I have no idea what's going on there. Okay, so... I really want to spend, and well, the news will be coming up soon. I'm going to be talking about a lot of these things, but I just, even though this ship is several versions old, and I only brought it in because I just wanted to see what it looked like in Second Life, but I'm just really, I love it. I've not seen another ship that looks like this, because this is a sort of a steampunk themed, really. It's kind of a Jules Verne-ish style ship, and I've already talked about, actually, you know, I've got to finish these things off properly. I haven't done the mesh properly on here. I mean, this was actually early stages, and the texturing is not good. Is not good really, but you know. But even so, I love it. I just really love it, and you know, I love the way the smoke comes out of there, and you know, I'm going to get these to sort of turn. I'm going to add sound effects, you know, to sort of have that whole sort of steam engine vibe going. Obviously, this in the sim that it's going to be used in is going to be static. It's going to be in a harbour, basically. It's and it's going to be used for role play. So. It just looks so. I love it. I really love it. I mean, I'm actually beginning to wonder whether this really needs to be. You see, this is also only half the size, and I'm kind of wondering. I think it really needs to be bigger, because if I look at the size of my avatar compared to the ship, I think the ship has definitely been designed to be bigger than when it's brought in world. I brought it in as one, one whole mesh, and it won't be brought in like that in the final version, because it's 64 meters from one end to the other, roughly. Well, that's not possible because you can't make it 234 meters, but it can only be 64 meters because that's the biggest anything can be. So it can't possibly be 200 and something meters. No, it's not, is it? No, that's where it's placed. The size, okay. It's difficult to know. We can probably work it out if we just highlight the hull, which is 62 meters, and then the mast on the end. Okay, so this doesn't seem to be working well. Probably because it's off the side of the sim. So, but it's going to be a minimum of 62 meters. So, and it can't be any bigger than 64. So. Because it was brought in as one mesh. So, interesting why some of this music doesn't seem to work. Okay, there we go. Right. Okay, so it's 6:30. I'm going to have to really just basically go forward with, I mean, there's no one in here, so I'm just going to make the video, because I know a lot of people watch my videos from America and around the world, and it you know, people from the UK don't seem to like Second Life for some reason. But anyway, this is one of my builds. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Anyway, there's quite a few bits and pieces of exciting news to do with Second Life, but also my role in Second Life, which is a builder and creator and constructor and whatnot. So this is the first thing okay, so the first thing that's happened is that we've now got a new version of the Firestorm viewer, which is quite crucial because Second Life, the Lindens have been working on EEP for Second Life, which is, correct me if I'm wrong, what does it stand for again? I've forgotten what it stands for again, but it's oh, come on. Bear with me while I try and environment. Yeah, it's a big long word. Environmental Enhancement Project, or EEP. Okay, so what does that mean? Basically, they've updated the viewers or the servers in Second Life to give you a more enhanced lighting. Now, I noticed a difference in the quality of the light as soon as I actually went into Second Life today. So I got notified that I needed to upgrade. I mean, I go into Second Life every single day, and sometimes I'll go in several times a day because I'll be doing it in between, you know, other bits and pieces of work and such like. And sometimes I'll leave my, you know, one of my alts in world just listening to music, and so I'm doing it all the time. So anyway, Firestorm, Phoenix have released the EEP version, which is a major upgrade to the viewer. So I would highly recommend, if you use Firestorm, to upgrade, obviously, because the difference was outstanding, absolutely outstanding. The things that I've noticed, not only the quality has improved, and I'm not using any high-res stuff here. I've got different modes set up, and I'm using what I'm calling my best standard, which is, I think, just below middle of the quality level, to be honest. If I go into my preferences, if I look at graphics, okay, so my draw distance is now 840 meters. Wow, it wasn't that before. It was only 640. That's interesting. So I'm not pushing the graphics card on my machine. I'm not pushing Second Life, the viewer, a huge amount. I mean, I do like all of the shaders enabled, and I've got it set to high, and then I've got a setting that says low res, and I will have dropped that right down, and then I've got high res, which is the one that's really pushing the graphics up. Now, I've got a good graphics card, it can handle it, it's not a problem. It just makes some of the sims that you go into really, really slow if you've got the graphics set too high. So you kind of don't, you have to really, it's a balance between your computer, the graphics card, and the sims that you go to on a regular basis. So if you go, I tend to actually stay away from sims that that have got a low frame rate, because I do an awful lot of building. When I do go into Second Life on a sort of a leisurely, personal basis, I will maybe bring the quality up, and then I will just accept the fact that it's going to be slightly laggy if I want to take some good photographs or video or anything along those lines while I'm in world. I will up the quality for however long, and then I can drop it right down. Now, when you go into sims that have got really bad, let's say you go to a dance sim or a club, or you go to a sim where there's a hunt on, or you're in a role play sim where there's a lot of people and stuff like that. I've got a setting that's low res, and if I switch that on, it will, there we go. So this is low res, and see how now it speeds up, because I've turned most of the shaders off. You can see that the sea doesn't look really very good. I don't know whether you can notice, but the sky doesn't look particularly good either. I mean, nothing really looks, it looks okay, but it's not brilliant. A lot of the shaders, as I say, are turned off, so you don't get the shadowing properly, and reflections don't look very good, but it's fast, you see. You know, it's really, really fast. Ooh, you got a reflection of the moon there. This is what EEP, this is what the kind of thing that they've enabled. Something else that I've noticed actually is, ooh, I wonder if they finally sorted out, ooh, that's interesting. Ooh, this is interesting. You know, like before, because this is a transparent particle generator that I'm using for the smoke here. When you viewed that across the sky, which is also transparent, wow, they seem to have sorted that out. It never, you could never see the smoke because obviously this is transparent and the sky was using some sort of transparency, and they kind of cancelled each other out. Wow, okay, so I need to look at that in other sims, but you can see what the sea, you know, like this water looks, it looks like water, you know, you get the nice shimmering effect and it looks like water and everything. You know, if we keep it like that, okay, so this is my low res, right? This is my low res. When I go to sims that are very, very laggy, I use this setting. You can set up as many as you like. And if we go to my standard, which will take a little while to load, it kind of looks, you know, whoa, that is really bleached out for some reason. This is one of the reasons. Well, I'm not using the environment. This is something else I've noticed. They've now, I mean, it just looks so good, but the sea is, you know, the water is kind of different, and this is full daylight mode. This is why I like things in night mode. I like switching to night mode. Most of the time I'm in night mode because I just love the effect. If we go back to, I think, no, I always keep doing this. This is evening mode. Looks okay. Yeah, you see now how that looks weird? To me, that looks weird. The reason why it looks weird is I'm forcing the environment to be how I like it, not how the sim is set up. So the sim, it used to be called Windlight. They've now renamed it, and they've called it, what have they called it? Oh no, where are we? If we go here, they've now called it Environment. Use shared environment, they're calling it, and then you've got these are new. I haven't played with these yet, but you've got my environments, and then you've got personal lighting. Now I think the my environments are the saved settings that I've got over here, my presets. So I think that's what that is. But I think the reason why this doesn't look good is because I'm not using the environment that the person who owns the sim has set the environment at, and if I use their shared environment, we might find that this will look different. Yeah, there you go. And that's really things that you have to be aware of, that when you use the shared environment of how the sim is set up, things start to look better. But if you force it, you know, how you want it to look at that. Isn't that amazing? If you force it to how you want to look, it very often looks naff. Doesn't look very good. If anyone is watching and wants to ask any questions about Second Life or chat about Second Life, then by all means, because I will just keep talking away. So I'm going to leave their environment on because it makes the ship look quite good. So anyway, that's quite an important and exciting thing, is EEP. Environment Enhanced, what does it stand for again? It's such a long name. Oh, I've closed it down again. So it stands for Environment Enhanced Project. Yeah. So it's I think it's just giving users a better experience in Second Life at the end of the day. I think that's really the purpose behind obviously this project, and they've actually, it looks to me like they've actually really solved the issues with the environment, with the shading, transparency, because that never worked. It never really worked properly, this, and now that's working. That would never come up like that with a sky. You'd never see it. You'd see that there was something moving, but you certainly couldn't see, you know, the transparency. As I said, kind of they cancelled each other out, and then you saw nothing. You know, it was just like a shimmering of some sort. So that's that. Okay, the other thing that I learned, if ever any builders watch this, you may or may not know about this. As I said, I came across this on a forum today. Now, I've spoken to so many builders in Second Life, and no one's really come up with this solution. Now, I've heard about it, but I've never really seen a solution on how to use this trick to lower the land impact of things. And when I saw it today, and what amazed me was that I saw somebody commenting in a forum on something on a completely separate subject, and they happened to mention that this is what they did to lower the land impact, and the thread continued on, and I don't think anyone really saw the significance of this person's message about what they said. And I thought, wow, that I've been looking for that for, like, 10 years, 12 years. And I tried it out and it worked. So this is it. It might seem really simple, but the impact of it, I can't actually express how much of an impact this little trick is actually going to make. So let's just say, right, so I'm gonna make something here. Right, so the example that this chap, I think it was a guy actually, gave was that you make a bookcase. Let's say you make a large bookcase and you've got 200 books effectively on there. Now, these are individual mesh books, okay? So you have quite a large bookcase, and you fill it up with, and I've seen these things before, you fill up the bookcase with a load of mesh books. Now, a book, pretty simple, but I've seen some pretty complex books where people have built bookcases and such like. So let's just say I'm going to hollow this out. Let's just say I make something like this. Okay, so that's kind of the size of a book. Okay, yeah, so I can kind of walk in there. That's absolutely fine. Right, so here, let's just say that this is a bookcase. I'm going to make it slightly bigger. Right, sorry, I'm actually helping someone else with their machine remotely, and Okay, right, so what we do is I am going to pretend, I'm just going to put this thing together and I'll explain exactly what it is. Oh, that's, yeah, okay. So I'm going to kind of explain what this is. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of make some, let's make some fake books. Right, so I'm just going to fill this, let's say, right, so now I'm not building, this isn't mesh, okay, this isn't mesh, obviously it's not mesh, so these are just prim, but the principle is the same, and I've tried it out with mesh and prim and it kind of works on both, so it's actually pretty neat. It's just, I just want to alter this around a little bit. Okay, so let's just do something like that. I'm now going to grab that lot. Right, if anyone's done building in Second Life before, you'll probably be cringing at this at the moment. Okay, but I'm just doing this as an example of what I found out today, and it's quite a mind blower actually when you realise the impact of what this chap said, and no one really acknowledged it, and I thought, whoa, hang on a minute, you know, that seems a bit odd that nobody would actually really acknowledge, you know, what this person was actually saying. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab one of those, I'm going to bring that around this way, and we've got stretch on both, so woo. So I'm going to bring that out there just slightly. Okay, so we've got like a shelf, and then we're going to go up one more, and then we're going to go up another one. Okay, so I want to try and grab that lot. No. I want to grab that lot, not that shelf, and just move them up a bit. No, I don't want the trees. Oh, go away. Why would I want the trees? Right, I just want the books. There we go. Right, I just want to move them up slightly. Okay, right. Let's turn them around that way. I just want to make this look like a bookcase. That's all I want to do. Right, okay, so we just got, you know, this is just a very, very simple bookcase, okay? Right. This, let's just call this bookcase. Okay. If we look at that, that's got a land impact of 64. All right. Yep. Are they all called bookcase? They are. That's fine. As long as they're all called bookcase, I don't mind. So I'm going to I'm going to take a copy because I just want to keep this as an example. Control X. Now for a bookcase, this is extremely, like, this is kind of scary, but this is really what people would have done. I just want to save this. Paste. Okay, we've saved it. It's always important to put all your stuff, I think, in folders so that you know where it is. I've seen people with their inventory just literally have, I mean, I've got, you know, over 22,500 elements in my inventory, and that's taken me over 13 years to amass that. If I was to try and find anything in here, I would have to keep searching for it and remembering what the name was. You stick it all into folders and subfolders, and I keep, you know, things like the originals and the finals and what I'm working on and scripts and all that. You keep it organized. Keep it organized, especially if you do a lot of building. So anyway, right, we're back here. This is 64 land impact. Okay, I'm going to copy it a few times so that we've got some to work on and play around with. And now I really do hope that this this thing that I picked up today works, and I'm quite confident that it will. So anyway, what you would normally do is you would highlight this. Okay, you would highlight that. You would link it. Okay, you would. This is what I would do. Okay, so you've got all these 64 objects, and you deselect and reselect the last one, which becomes what they call the root prim, and then you link them together. Right, so they're all 64. Okay, and that is now one object grouped together that I can now move it. I move it around as one object. I don't have to keep selecting everything, you know, like before. So if I select this one, all I've done is I've just, you know, selected the outside. Yeah, so I can undo that. Okay, so now I've got one object, but it's linked. What I found out today was that you can, and now I didn't know this. This is a bookcase. If I walk into this, okay, the physics is the bookcase. Every single one of these items here has got a physics model automatically attached to it, and we can see it if I highlight it, go to the features and switch on physics, and there you can see every single item there, because it's now gone blue, has got see, if I just select that, you can see the physics model that it turns blue. If I select one of the books, select a shelf, they've all got their own individual physics attached. And so when I walk into this, I can't walk through it. I can edit that whole thing, and I can make it so that it's got no physics shapes whatsoever, and I can walk through it. Okay, so now basically Second Life has told it that it doesn't have any physics. Okay, so if I select, it's interesting, only the outside, the root prim contains the physics. Do you see what's happened to the land impact? The land impact is halved, mainly because I made the only bit of this now that has got any physics object is the root prim. The root prim will always have a physics object when you make the whole object without any physics. So you change it from the physics shape type from prim to none. Of course, the problem with that is that I can now walk through it, but I can't walk through the end. I'm stopping at the end. Now, what I could do, if it was really crucial that I couldn't walk through this, you could make, you know, another prim behind it or something like that, or I could make one of these shelves. So I could highlight that, edit linked. I'm going to take that shelf and I'm going to give that shelf a physics model. Okay, so if I highlight this now, we can see that I shouldn't actually be able to walk through this. So I now can't walk through it. But look at the land impact. The land impact is now 32 instead of instead of what it was before, which was 64. So I'm going to highlight that, unhighlight that. So it was actually 65. Oh no, it was 64 because I highlighted a book there. So it's interesting. That's what I learned today. And I just thought this kind of blew my mind a bit, because literally by just knowing that one piece of information, I've halved the land impact of a bookcase. You know, that has a huge impact, because now I can have 2 bookcases, and it kind of equals 1 if you make, you know, do you know what I mean? So it's quite interesting. I thought it was interesting. Why does the music keep going off? Oh, there we go. Okay. I think that particular track is not good. But anyway, that's you know, I think it's quite key. Now, another example. So, you know, you can do this obviously with Prim. You know, you can obviously make, like, I wouldn't make a bookshelf now. You know, as I've mentioned before in previous videos, I don't really make stuff out of Prim anymore. It's all mesh and you bring it in world. And of course the beauty with mesh is, instead of working on this level here, you would make everything in mesh, and then you would just make a mesh model with a cube. In this instance, I would make basically a cube to the shape of this, you know, this whole thing. So there would be one physics model for the whole thing, and then you could play around with the quality level, etc., in order to bring down that land impact even further. And I have seen bookshelves with lots and lots of books, and quite detailed books as well. I've seen them in Second Life, and they're only, you know, 3, 4, 5 land impact for a bookshelf about this size, you know, in a shop or in a house that's just sort of used as a prop, really, at the end of the day. So I thought that was quite key. You know, halving your land impact by just making objects in there without a physics model. I mean, that's just such a simple thing. You know, it's such a simple thing. Unbelievable. So anyway, I thought, wow, you know, I will try this on one of the things that I'm working on at the moment, which is my, of course I don't think I brought it in here, have I? No, I've not brought it in here. That's a shame. I thought I brought it in. No. It was my, of course I'm doing it on the beta sim, so this is the real sim. So anyway, it was the little tour dirigible that I did it on, and it brought the land impact down about a quarter on a very large mesh objects, you know. So it was normally sort of 65, no, it was normally 55, and it brought it down to 39. So, and I thought, wow, you know, that's actually pretty impressive. So it does work. It definitely works. Try it out yourself. I kind of didn't really believe it when I thought, surely this chap has just blown up out of the water an amazing tip about lowering the land impact in Second Life, and no one else responded to it. And I went through the whole forum thread, and it was just like, wow. It was quite when things happen in your life and you just think, why aren't people actually talking about this? I mean, this is a big deal in Second Life. Okay, this music doesn't seem to want to work. How strange. How very, very strange. Anyway, so that I think is a big deal, and I'm going to be looking forward. I mean, obviously this steamship has not been optimized at all. I mean, I just literally brought this into Second Life, and as it was, and it's cost 600. There is going to be two uses for this. One, it's going to be used as a roleplay prop, so it needs to be a working solution, as in people need to be able to go onto this ship and walk around it, and they want to see cabins and everything underneath. I'm going to be talking about that again in a minute, but yeah, and then there's going to be an off-world version of it, which is going to be sitting in a harbour, and again just being used as kind of a bit of eye candy for a sim. So right, I'm going to get rid of this. Boom. I thought that was a really good thing. Pretty, I wish I'd known about that before, to be honest. It was not. There's a few things in the building really with Second Life that is not very intuitive, and it's not something that I would have immediately thought until I'd read it, and then it made sense, and I thought, wow. And I've been to an awful lot of classes in various different universities inside Second Life to learn about building, from the very, very early beginning before Mesh to all the way through Mesh, and I've never ever heard of anyone or any other builder saying the same thing. I've never come across somebody saying the same thing, so it's the first time I've ever heard about it. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of this now. Actually, I don't know. Sometimes people come up to me and they say, "Oh, where did you get that ship from?" And I say, "Well, I made it," and they want me to leave it there, but no one's come over. As I say, this is sort of a furries sim. I don't suppose they're really that interested in. I don't suppose they're really that interested in a ship. But anyway, I'm going to get rid of this. Okay. So the other exciting news is, if we go back to Neo Victoria, I mean, this is kind of a little bit blowing my own trumpet, but this has been an ongoing project for most of this year, actually. So if you've been watching my videos for the last week or so, I've been kind of waiting to meet up with the owner of these sims to talk about, and she's always busy. I mean, she's always busy, and there's an 8-hour difference between as well, because obviously she's in America, I'm in the UK, and it doesn't always work, the timings. But I built this shop as a series of test things that I built. For the sim surround, like this building here. These are all sort of testing things really, and I've been making they've got a hunt. Again, if you know anything about Second Life, they have a lot of hunts, and it's a good way of attracting people to your sim. And it's like you go on a hunt and you get things for nothing, and very often, sometimes some of them you have to pay, you contribute something to them, and others you don't. But it's a good way of getting people to your sim, and getting people involved in what's happening on your sim, and attracting footfall, as it were. A bit like a shop trying to attract customers at the end of the day. So over the last few months, I've been sort of making a few bits and pieces for the hunt prizes, you know, the hunt gifts. And when I met with the owner yesterday, I think they've got some gifts, and I said to her, you know, is there any of these that you'd really like? And she took everything. She wanted it all. So they're going to use this clock. She was over the moon with this because apparently she hasn't been in World and seen this, and yet a lot of this stuff has been here for about 2 months now. So they're going to use the tables as two different gifts. I personally like both of them, but this was just an exercise in ambient occlusion. I actually quite like this table as just literally a table. I like the cloth on the top of it as well. I think it looks good. But you could take the cloth off and just use it as a really nice antique kind of wooden, you know, teak kind of table. It actually looks quite good, if I say so myself. And then about a week ago, I made these for another different project, and they came out really, really well. You know, they're low. It's low mesh stuff. It's pretty simple, but I wanted to add a bit of character, and you can see that, you know, the wood isn't straight. They look like carved out blocks of, you know, antique wood at the end of the day. And the idea is the same that I did with this, you know, just, you know, they can just be used as props, or the other idea that I had was to actually make kind of an old sort of 200-300-year-old cottage using these beams as the building blocks to it, and, you know, that kind of thing. That's all part and parcel. But she wanted those as well, so she took the tables, she took the you know, the wood, she took the lamppost, and she was amazed actually that I managed to get the land impact on this rather nice lamp. I think it's only 2, yeah, land impact of 2. I've managed to get that down to, and it's not and it's physical. So, you know, you bump into it, you don't walk through it. It's not phantom. So that was that. And as I said, then she said about the clock, she was fascinated with the clock because it's got some really, really good scripts in it that allow you to change the time zones. So you can have many of these clocks. Now, the other thing I've done with this clock is that you can, it's pretty big. I mean, it's, you know, it's a steampunkish kind of style clock, and it's got the Neo-Victoria name on it and all that kind of thing. It's got moving parts in there and, you know, things like that. So when you click on it, you can change the time zone, which is pretty neat. I didn't write the scripts on this, I must admit. They are public domain. They're public domain scripts on a certain website that you can pick up. But yeah, you can pause, you can reset it. You reset it and it resets all the scripts that are inside. But I've made this clock so it can be resized. So if they give it away with full perms, which is what they tend to do, you can see the physics shape, which is how it's down to about 6. Land impact, which is actually very low for something like this. But then this is actually too, you know, it's very big. You can resize it. That's the smallest it can go, and it will go down to 5 land impact, which for such a detailed item is not too bad at all. You know, so it's basically a wall clock, but it's got a nice back on it, so it could actually be mounted on something. You know, you could put 2 of them together back to back, or, you know, make something else out of it. You know, you could make a nice something nice out of it that would go in a street or something, you know, or it could go in a window, you know, that kind of thing. But anyway, they're going to use this as and I was quite chuffed. They're going to use this as the main prize. She was that impressed with it. So that, again, you know, blowing my own trumpet, but I was quite chuffed with that, because the owner of the sim is a very, very particular person. Actually, it would probably look quite good over the door. Ooh, that could be rather nice. It's got that space there to put something, you know, like an advert or... Cool, that actually looks pretty neat. I like that. Oh yeah. So yeah, I was very pleased with that. And so I actually, before I leave here, the other thing I said was about this building. And I said, do you want to use this building? Because I mean, I can make buildings, it's not a problem. You want to give it away in a hunt. That's... Oh, and the other thing, yeah, they took was this kind of magic ball. It's kind of like a radiation, you know, it's like it's a role play prop basically. But she wanted this as well. It's kind of throbbing and moving, and it's got kind of an eerie feel about it. So she took that as well. But then I said about the building, and I said, you know, do you want to give away the building? And she said that she really, really liked the building, but she had a couple of things in mind with this. One, she wants to use it on her sim, which I thought was, again, you know, it's nice when somebody wants your stuff, you know. And she said, because I made this up the other day, I don't know if you saw that, I made this up so that you can go up and down. And the whole idea I had behind this building was that it would be used as a very simple shop. You know, it's got a first floor, but it's not really going to be used. I mean, most of these are not really used on the second floor. It wasn't really designed anyway. So, but she wants now me to design this so that this is actually going to be usable. So she wants this. This is like a London townhouse. So you know, typically the person who owns the shop would be living above the shop, or this would be rented out. And so she actually wants this. For two reasons she wants it. One, she wants it to use it as a house, you know, as a shop stroke house like that she can rent out for people. So I need to make it with another second floor, and I have to make it with stairs. So that's going to be another stream coming up soon on making stairs. And I had the idea of making two ideas really. I had one with a set of stairs that could go round on the corner and then go to the second floor, and then very similar, or maybe some straight stairs that go up to the you know, the floor above. So I'd have to add another floor here, because it just goes straight up to the ceiling. So the roof rather. So I'd need to add a second floor in between the windows here, which is relatively easy to do. And then I was thinking of having like literally just a straight stairway up, you know, sort of Victorian style, with a nice little banister going up. So I thought I could make the one here actually quite fancy, because it will be in the shop, and then the one up onto from the first floor to the second floor would be just a pretty basic sort of set of stairs really, for people to go up. And then the other thing is a lot has happened in just a couple of days. The other thing that she had an idea about using this for is Fantasy Fair next year. Fantasy Fair is a massive fundraising event for the American Cancer Research Fund, and they raise actually quite a lot of money. If you search Second Life and Fantasy Fair, and the Fantasy Fair is just a mind-blowingly big collection of like 14 sims all together, and each sim has got a theme, and on each sim there is like a theme for the person that's sponsoring it, or the the group that's sponsoring that sim, and there it ranges. There's just all sorts of stuff. It's mind blowing. It's absolutely mind blowing. And then each sim has 20 or so shops, and she was thinking that this could be used for that as well, but she was also thinking that this could be used, or something very similar to this, or maybe one of these, could be used again in the hunt at Fantasy Fair as their gift to the Fantasy Fair, hunt. So that's another idea. So it's all happening. So when that meeting finished, that now finished everything with regard to that. Then, of course, I've got this steamship that we've just been talking about earlier. She wants to use this steamship on the sim as a role play kind of thing. Oh no, that's interesting, isn't it? Because we saw, at least I can see the smoke now. Maybe it's sim dependent then, it depends on the environment now. But at least I can see the smoke. You couldn't do that before. Interesting. Anyway, I digress. So she wants to get this kind of up and running, but that's after the next thing that I'm going to be talking about. But yeah, she wants this up. She wants to see this up and running, and with the new, I've got much better textures. This looks awful in comparison to what the real thing. But look at the physics model on this. I mean, I didn't do anything with this because I knew you couldn't walk on it. But look at the physics model, because I didn't set up a proper physics model for it. I just literally brought it into Second Life straight out of Blender, and hence its 606 land impact, which is just absolutely crazy. Actually, do you know what I could do? Because this has got a root prim there, I wonder if this would bring it down. Nope. What? I didn't try it on this ship yet. I don't think it will make a huge impact, to be honest. Right, okay, so I've selected all of that. I want to edit linked. I want to highlight that. I'm now going to convert that from convex hull to none. No, I don't think that's going to work, is it? I don't think it works like that somehow. I don't think that's really going to make an awful lot of difference. So if I now edit this, no, it's not made any difference at all. Edit linked. Prim. Right, if I make that prim, no, it's not made any difference at all. I think because I have this has not been optimized to bring into Second Life. But she thought 600 600 land impact for this was actually good. And I thought, wow, I don't think so. No, I've not seen that before. Huh, that's new. I'm seeing lots of new menu options actually in Firestorm, which is quite interesting. Okay. So yeah, this has got use now. She really liked this as it was, as it is like right now. And I said, well, this is actually several versions old, and I've made the texturing look so much better, and you know. So anyway, that's that. So the next tomorrow, we have a meeting, another meeting in World, and for those that have been watching my other videos, if anyone's got any questions, by the way, just do ask a question. But this is the next, and anyone who's seen my other videos will know. I keep going on about this. This has been an ongoing project for several months now. But this is about a tour vehicle that will go round the sim, and this has been ongoing for quite a while. So she now wants a meeting about this, and obviously moving forward, because yeah, okay. She wants to see this in action. This was just literally a proof of concept, because they've been trying to get something organized with this for many years. I think within, you know, the last 6 to 7 years, they've wanted somebody to create a tour, because a lot of sims have this, you know, they have the kind of tours and vehicles and such like that take them around a sim. The other video I did the other day had a roller coaster, you know, that used very much this sort of similar kind of technology. Really, the scripting and everything in this would be very similar. I could make a you know, a roller coaster out of this. So that's the idea behind this. So that's about tomorrow. I'm not going to stream tomorrow, but I certainly will stream, I think, Saturday, and I will try again on Sunday, and I'll be finalising the last bits to do with the dirigible, because I've made the, you know, Captain Copperpants, or whatever they're going to call him, who's going to be the driver of this vehicle while people sit in and they take the tour around the sim, etc. I'm definitely going to be streaming how I make the tour, because that's quite complicated. Hence, not an awful lot of people have made tours in Second Life. It's not quite as straightforward. I mean, once you understand the concept of it, it sort of sinks in, but it certainly took me several weeks to get my head around how it worked and the concept of it. Even though I had all the scripts and quite a lot of help and guidance and documentation, the documentation was actually wrong. The scripts were actually wrong. Well, they weren't wrong, but they were inaccurate, let's say. So I had to kind of rewrite the scripts a little bit and fix, you know, the errors that were in there, and I'll go through that anyway in my stream about how to make a tour. I like the clock there. That's pretty neat. That's pretty neat. It's kind of eye-catching, really. It's probably not the right type of clock for that, but anyway. So that's the next thing. So tomorrow, it will all be about the tour. And the most important thing, really, for me, is that I get given the correct mapping for the tour to go around, for this object here to map itself around the sim. And then what's going to make this whole thing very complicated is if I go down, let's see if I can go down. I might have to go somewhere else and come back again, because it doesn't allow me to go down to land level. It's just the way the owner has set that up. You can't landmark the land level. Ooh, a newbie. You can always tell a newbie. This is a newbie. Oh, there we go. This could be, this is 2 newbies. They're 1 month old. and 1 month old. There we go. Newbies who haven't changed their avatar, haven't changed their clothes. This is what you look like. This is a good example, actually, of what you look like when you first come in. And in fact, this is actually not too bad compared to what it used to be kind of in the very, very early days, because in the very early days, oh, it was awful. It really was. It really was awful. You know, I mean, you get these what were termed as duck feet, and they really are awful. I mean, look at that. You know, this is what you get given as an avatar when you first come in. I mean, it really is awful, considering you know, I know it's free, you can go in free, but I mean, who on earth designed this? And why do they do that? You know, why haven't they even changed it in, what, I can't remember now what it is. Is it 15 years or something, or 16 years Second Life has been going? And they still haven't really, you know, look at this, look. I mean, this, you know, we're talking 21st century avatars here. Look at the folds in this. It's awful. I'm not laughing at the people who are obviously in that you know, using those avatars. But then, you know, if you look at an avatar, that has got a baked on mesh body with proper hair, gestures, you know, makeup, I think the environment in this is a bit, no, I'm using their environment. I think they need to change their environment. No, I can't use that either. Let's go here. Yeah, okay, so that looks good. But I mean, what a difference. I have no idea what that mesh body, who it's made by, but at least it's got proper weights on it, and it's got some kind of shape to it, and it kind of looks, you know, good. 2 years old, 10 months. So you can, and that may be another stream that I'll do sometime, is to show people how you can get a decent mesh body for nothing. You know, you can, and you can, how you can get like half decent clothes that don't cost anything as well. I mean, obviously my clothes cost money, my boots cost money. I mean, obviously if you spend lindens on stuff, you know, I made the glasses. You know, there's things that you can actually do. You know, it doesn't have to cost you a bucket load of money. And as I mentioned in a previous video, you can earn money in Second Life, and you can get really good quality stuff for free if you're willing to. You can work in world, you know, as a host or a, you know, somebody bouncer, or, you know, all of those kind of things, or you can there's places you can go where you can you have to be there on the sim for a length of time before you get like gifts, and you can wait for your, you know, the first letter of your name to come up and all that kind of thing. There's all sorts of tips and tricks you can do in Second Life. You don't have to wander around, and I do wonder whether these people, I wonder, is this theirs? You know, it could be that they found a freebies place where they can get clothes and such like from, but if they're still wearing this and they've still got this after a month, I'm guessing they haven't really they haven't really found these places. Who's produced this? Maximilian Grant. Okay, so logo. Okay, they may have picked that up from somewhere. See, that's 15 land impact, this thing that they've made. Shouldn't be. The physics. Wow, okay. For a bag with a dog in it, that's a lot. That is a lot. Right, SC's Gentry. How are you? I like this guy actually. We've shared quite a lot. I like a lot of what he builds, and he's very often seen me here when I've been in the middle of building something, and he'll come over and he just builds Prim only. He only builds Prim. So you building today? Okay, I don't know whether anyone is anyone watching, anyone got any questions, anyone anything? Oh, he's building a store. Nice. Which one over there? Let's go and have a look. Is that it? Is that it there? Oh yeah. Wow. The big one. The big one, the big one. Will it have more floors? It's good. It's good in a way to I feel to just be polite, even though I'm obviously streaming at the moment. But I think it's actually just, you know, courtesy to you know, somebody that you know and you see quite a bit. Yeah. So I'm just saying, Early Maze, hold on. Ah, okay, he's going to join it if he does. Oh, right, okay. Yeah. Yeah, this chap doesn't. Sorry, I'm not talking. I'm kind of concentrating on typing. But this chap doesn't build mesh. He just builds prim only. So okay, so I said I liked your tone. The other day I saw it finished. I think, yeah, it looked good. Looked good. Yeah, I did that in a video. I showed it in a video actually, and I know he'd been working on it for like weeks, and you know, the level of detail this guy does for prim is actually really good. And as I said before, it comes down to how you build, but also the textures you put on the builds as well. It does kind of make a difference. And they call him Foster because he likes Foster's beer. That's funny. I bet he liked the build. Is that his build as well, I wonder? No, it isn't. Oh my god, what a name. Whoa. Okay. I don't know quite what that is. Oh, it looks like a shop kind of front thing. Yeah. Medieval buildings, same here. Yeah, I like it. They named it the Pig and Whistle. That's a very, very English kind of name for a pub, actually. Wow, this is very pink. Yeah. Maybe. I'm going to tell him actually about the bookcase idea, because I'm going to actually tell him about this, because I think it's he might very well be able to use this in his builds to reduce the size of his land impact, especially I don't know, because a lot of his stuff is actually buildings, but he might be able to use it for things like this, you know, even so. Like this building is 186. Flipping heck. Right, okay. So right, so if I bring out this bookcase, right? So I'm explaining that sorry, I'm kind of concentrating instead of talking, but I'm trying to explain to him how he can. Now your builds need to have physics, because oh my goodness, because people will walk through the walls, but you might be able to reduce Li on other areas. Okay, so yeah, since the floor is prim, yeah, the physics will not count. Yeah, exactly. So I'm saying if I make the shelves with so if I say edit that and then edit the linked and go, you know, if I select that one and I put the physics back on that, see, now I can't, now all right, okay, so he's brought out. Whoa! Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so he's used the clever, yeah, so clever use of textures makes a difference. Yeah. Wow, nice. Wow. Yeah, but keeping the quality as much as possible. Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's you know that's this is what I like this guy. I like this guy. Oh wow. Very nice. Four. Wow, that's not bad at all. Nice chain. Mm. Nice chain. I'm guessing he used Blender for this. So total for this is 4, which is great. Both sides of the chain, not including the seat. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Okay. How are we? Oh, we're over 2 hours. Okay. It's pretty good. So I sort of said to him, I'll have to bring some of my really early stuff in World. This is what I love about Second Life, you know. When people say things are boring in Second Life, then I just think, well, you haven't really travelled around, and you haven't really met the right people, and you haven't really defined what it is you want out of Second Life. And this is what I've enjoyed about Second Life for 13 years. I just never get bored. I never get bored of meeting people. Yeah. Yeah. Catch you later. Huh? I can't spell good. Okay, anybody got any questions before I poof? Yeah, okay. Okay, I'm off. Right, so yeah. Yep. Anybody got any questions? No questions. Nothing. Okay. Well, I have thoroughly enjoyed this today. It's been really good to come in world and meet up with, you know, people again. Let's go down to the park. I want to see what this sim looks like now, because the owner of this sim kept going on about the EEP and how this was changing how it had changed the look of the sim. So, my goodness, wow, that's a low frame rate. Okay. Holy moly, why is this so... okay, so you can see my sim surround builds, which look really good when they're rezzed up, but they're not rezzed up yet. Okay, so I want to switch to... God, this has changed, isn't it? Environment, they call it. Use shared environment. This is what I want to see, what the difference is. Because she kept saying that it had changed with the new EEP, because she was using the beta version of the viewer, and obviously I wasn't able to see exactly how this looked because I was still on the you know, a more stable version of a viewer, Firestorm. So if I look up in the sky, I'm supposed to see 2 moons, apparently. Ah, there's one. Okay, maybe there was only one then. Oh, there is something there. I don't know what that is. But okay, there's now a moon. That's interesting. I don't know what that is. What is that? I can't zoom to it. Yeah, we got stars, actually. I must admit, the sky looks a lot better. I don't know what that is. Can I go up there? No, I can't. Okay. I don't know what that is. So here's near Victoria, and then the Machinima Sim is there. Now, she mentioned something to me yesterday, which I might just go and have a look. Yeah, it's rezzing up. It's very low. She said something about the way the townhouses, which are these houses here. She said the townhouses were very efficient on an efficient use of the space. And she wanted to know if I could do that with my shop stroke kind of townhouse thing. Maybe she's talking about the stairs. Oh, I see. Right, okay. So that's using... That's using... Oh, I see what she... Right, okay. I see what she means. Yeah, well, what I was going to do on my building was... right. We make no comment about what people have in their houses. But this looks like a cage and some sort of... Oh, it's a whipping post. Okay. Well, there we go. So yeah, I guess that's maybe what I was going to actually make the townhouse thing slightly different, actually, so that it could be used as a, used as a house. I guess this is about the same size, only this is a very simple, blocky kind of townhouse, which has got 41 prim. So this is actually made out of prim. It's not mesh. Yeah, okay. I mean, it's kind of small, but and then it's got this on the outside, which personally I think is kind of unnecessary. Kind of unnecessary. I mean, that's a few prim that you don't really need to use. Oh, I see. So then we've got something that goes into a little library. So this is probably a good example of, yeah, so it's pretty basic. This is a library, but these are not, this is just a flat prim with a texture on it, which, is effective. It all depends, and they've obviously repeated it quite a few, about 4 times. So, I mean, it looks okay. It looks alright, but I just, so they got a door that seems to go into a room out the back. Okay, I mean, it's a workable solution. It looks okay. It kind of fits in with the sim. They've got like a tree house thing here. This is the place I used to rent before. So again, it's pretty basic. We've got various different, and all these people that rent these, they're all role play. So there's kind of a place for everyone, whatever their genre of role play is, whatever kind of character that they're playing, they can. They can act out their role play part in that particular area with the right theme. There's kind of a maze here which gets used quite a bit in the role play. I think they've got sort of goblins or fairies or something along those lines, sprites of some sort that live here and are quite mischievous. Wow, that looks interesting. Oh, neat. Looks like a Triffid type thing. Oh, that, wow. I like the way that... Look at that. That is pretty neat. Doesn't seem to do anything, but yeah, I like that. Anyway, I'm going to call it a day. It's been a long day for me. Yeah, so we've got the moon there. That's interesting. Never used to see that before. The sky looks much better than what it was before. I'm intrigued as to what that is. That looks like a... It looks like it's part of the sky, but I can't really, you can't zoom to it. I can zoom to this. It looks like a dirigible, to be honest, or an image of a dirigible anyway. But you can't zoom to it because it's kind of part of the sky. Interesting. Anyway, I'm going to call it a day. If you've watched this so far, then I admire your thing. And if you're interested in Second Life, look me up. Look up Magus Hellwalker. You know, and if you're into building, that would be amazing. But even if you're just interested, you know, I like building. That's my main thing. That's my main purpose really for coming into Second Life. But I also enjoy exploring, you know, looking at different sims and just learning, you know. It's learning, enjoying. Oh, that thing's moving around. And I thought the moon was actually on the other side, but there you go. I don't know. I thought it was over there. In fact, I was almost certain it was over there. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Been a pleasure. I have got a lot of streams lined up, things I want to share, builds that I'm working on now that look like they're going to start moving forward and progressing a little bit more, which I obviously get a lot of enjoyment out of doing. And I dare say there'll be quite a few hunts coming up for the Christmas period, which you know, I might go and do a few of them. I haven't done a hunt for a long time actually. The last one I did was actually Fantasy Fair, which was, I think, probably about 2018, or it could have been 2017, and it's good fun. You got puzzles, and you know, you have to go places and try and find objects, and it's really good. It's really good fun. So I will share that kind of thing, and I hope to see you in World at some point. Okay, take care. Bye now and good night.